Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, we have failed to pass comprehensive immigration reform up here for decades. But if you listen to the witnesses, some of them, and if you listen to my colleagues, you would think the world didn't begin until President Biden was elected. You would think it was dinosaurs, the wheel, Jesus, the world was flat, the world was round, Biden was elected, every problem. Like nothing happened before. You know, people pretend like everything was just perfect. But you know what? One of my colleagues, when bringing up statistics, showed why this is a farce. She brought up that President Obama deported more people than President Trump. In fact, President Obama deported more people in each term than President Trump. Well, hold on a second. If the border wasn't a problem until President Biden was elected, then how were we deporting all of these people in administrations before Trump was elected? It's because this situation has been going on for decades. So stop lying to the American people that none of this happened until President Biden was elected.
Finally, Democrats are going on the offense. This class of Democrats, led by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, is doing what I always wanted the Democratic Party to do, which frankly is the democracy party now. The only pro-democracy party in the United States of America, as between the two major political parties, as the Republican Party has gone full-blown MAGA. Here's Democratic Congressmember Jasmine Crockett, also just speaking facts, common sense, and pushing back against the MAGA Republican nonsense. Play the clip.
Clear President Biden has tried to give state and local governments and nonprofits federal resources to support temporary food, shelter, and other services. But MAGA House Republicans are refusing to give those cities and states those resources. President Biden has tried to put 1,300 more Border Patrol agents at the border to help. But Republicans have obstructed that request. Republicans want to cut the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. President Biden has tried to give our border agents 100 new cutting-edge inspection devices and add 1,000 additional law enforcement personnel. Republicans obstructed that request. Honestly, I can't tell if y'all are for anything other than obstruction and cruelty. Just take a look at my governor last week. He said, and I quote, "The only thing we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder." I know Governor Abbott doesn't understand the law, but let me say this, that absolutely would be murder. And with that,
here is Democratic Congressmember Cori Bush calling Donald Trump exactly what he is. These Democrats are not mincing words, and Democratic Congressmember Cori Bush is calling Donald Trump a racist cult leader. Play the clip.
Which the Republicans and their racist cult leader, Donald Trump, want you to believe. The real crisis
As for
is
words
one
to be taken down.
No, it is. He is not a current president.
The gentlelady will suspend until the motion is dealt with.
What were the offending words?
Would Mr. Cloud state the words? Mr. Cloud, will you state the words?
She mentioned that Republicans were racist.
I didn't say that. I said racist cult leader Donald Trump, who is not a current president, so it is not engaging in
She said
personality.
Republican members and their...
No, she's clarifying she's not referring to Republicans in general. She was referring to one individual who is not protected by the rules.
Absolutely. The words say, which the Republicans and their racist cult leader Donald Trump.
Mr. Ranking Member, I don't think that you're the one to rule on this. I think the chair.
Here,
No, I was stating just the rule.
Let's hold for just a moment.
You saw there as well that the MAGA Republicans in the House wanted to take down her words. They wanted to strike it. Then you saw Democratic Congressmember Jamie Raskin come to the defense of Congresswoman Cori Bush and say, no, that's fine. She had every right to call Donald Trump that. Here is Jamie Raskin while we're at it. Play this clip.
I have a unanimous consent request for introduction to the record about a memo on transcribed interviews of these patrol agents.
Without objection to
if I could ask you also, Mr. Chairman, can we release those 9 Border Patrol transcripts from last year of all of these agents who testified?
we'll get back with you. That was yeah.
Terrific.
But no, I said I'm happy to take that issue up with you. at another
Point of order.
time. Today's hearing's about the border crisis, a crisis that this administration has created. We've heard the mayor of New York City, we've heard the mayor of Washington, D.C., we've heard Democrat mayors all over the United States talk about this issue. We have highly qualified witnesses here to discuss this serious matter. So I suggest that the questions are addressed to the witnesses today. We have good witnesses, so
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
State your point.
I would just like to inquire from the chairman as to why there would be resistance
That's
to
not a
releasing
point of
the
order.
full
That's not a point of
transcripts,
order. Not a point of order.
Of the
All
Border
right.
Patrol agents that
Not a point
you
of order.
interviewed, and why you don't want the public to see those transcripts.
State your point.
Yeah, are we going to, after you've ruled on something not being a point of order, are we going to allow members to just keep talking over you?
She's out of order. All right.
Here's Democratic Congress member Jayapal. Play the clip.
Some even have bipartisan support, but none of them have moved because Republicans don't really want a solution to this. That is why time and time again, when Republicans had a chance to support more resources and personnel for the border, they voted no. In 2021 and 2023, nearly every current House Republican voted against providing additional funding to increase staffing and resources at ports of entry to combat smuggling of people and drugs. And
Got to show you this one other clip of Congress member Jared Moskowitz. Play this clip.
Yes, my colleagues passed H.R. 2. They did. It was a wonderful messaging bill. They knew when they passed it, it was dead on arrival in the Senate. And see, that's what this place does. The Senate passes bills that are dead in the House. The House passes bills that are dead in the Senate. They wash their hands with it, declare victory, and say, we did something. Okay? It's fake. You don't pass a bill that you know the other chamber isn't going to take and say, solve the problem. And it goes for the Senate, too. It's just not on the House. And by the way, there were some good policies in H.R. 2. There are things in H.R. 2 that I would vote for. There are things in H.R. 2 that are bipartisan to help secure the border. But there were things in H.R. 2 that were outrageous because it was never meant to become law. There are things in H.R. 2 that would potentially prevent Jews escaping the Holocaust from coming into the country. Because there's all sorts of changes to asylum. There's all sorts of, if you travel through a third country, you can't come in. There's all sorts of language in there that, again, was never meant to become law. And I don't think my colleagues, by the way, put that in there because they would want to prevent Jews from coming into this country. But we've seen what happens when there is language in laws that isn't intended, like what happened in the St. Louis in 1939, where there were laws that prevented Jews on a ship escaping Germany. We denied them because we applied things that weren't meant for that situation. And so, look.
Yes, and while we're at it, I'll show you this final clip here of Jamie Raskin. Play this clip.
And misdemeanor, rather than joining Democrats and Biden in good faith bipartisan negotiations to make progress on immigration, they are taking orders from Donald Trump and actively obstructing a bipartisan border deal. Just as Trump is openly hoping for an economic downturn in our robust, low unemployment economy, they're hoping for chaos at the border and trying to stop us from preventing it. These tactics are accompanied by dangerous rhetoric. MAGA Republicans continue to invoke white supremacist, anti-immigration fantasies and conspiracy theories. It's been almost a full year since I invited the good chairman and my Republican colleagues to join oversight Democrats in condemning the great replacement theory, and still they fail to denounce this shameful doctrine which has been invoked by numerous racist and anti-Semitic mass shooters and murderers across the country. America is not a great country in spite of immigrants. We're a great country because of immigrants.
If you're like most people on planet Earth, you enjoy a good cup of coffee. I just found a new product to put in my coffee that has all these awesome benefits called 4Wellness. You have to try it out. This podcast is sponsored by 4Wellness. 4Wellness is a functional food brand with a unique range of snacks and supplements that are designed to help you get the most out of your body and mind. Their best-selling product, The Good Stuff, is a performance coffee supplement that supercharges the natural benefits of your coffee with just one scoop. Enjoy better focus, reduce the caffeine jitters, increase your collagen, and support fat burning with the power of the Good Stuff's 5 key ingredients: L-theanine, collagen, MCT, cinnamon, and Himalayan salt. On top of that, the Good Stuff helps you ditch the bad stuff like sugar, dairy, and artificial creamers. For Wellness was founded by world-renowned performance coach Dave Phillips, who's worked with some of the world's highest performing athletes because he saw his athletes struggling with their health and in need of a simple, delicious way to get functional ingredients into their daily routines. Now, Dave is bringing his unique insight from the pro sports world to you with For Wellness. I already talk about coffee enough with my brothers and annoy them by going on and on and on. And guess what? Now I get to do that twice as much by bragging about my For Wellness every day. It not only tastes great, but it makes me feel great as well. For Wellness also offers Superfood Focus Bites, a delicious snack that literally tastes like a chocolate brownie, except it's made from nootropics like lion's mane, mushroom, and cacao. It also has amazing benefits like fighting inflammation and supporting brain and gut health. Plus, they offer tart cherry recovery gummies, which help combat muscle soreness, coffee pods, and more amazing products that you could work into your daily routine. And For Wellness offers a 60-day money-back guarantee, so what do you have to lose? So, if you drink coffee, it's time to give For Wellness a try. Head to forwellness.com/Meidas and use code Meidas for 25% off your order. Once again, that's forwellness.com/MEIDAS for 25% off, and make sure to use my promo code Meidas so they know I sent you.
And you see, folks, the MAGA Republicans were holding a hearing to try to go after Democrats about the border. But Democrats are like, we are trying to work on a bipartisan basis to get things done. We're offering actual solutions, and President Biden has committed massive amount of resources, but y'all MAGA Republicans are refusing to let that happen because Donald Trump, the same way he said he wants to try to crash the economy because it would be helpful for Donald Trump is telling the MAGA Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to not allow any bipartisan deal to be reached on the border. And by the way, you don't have to take my word for it. Why don't we take a look at what MAGA Mike Johnson says? This is MAGA Republican Speaker of the House saying, yes, he's spoken to Donald Trump at the border. And MAGA Mike has said that until Donald Trump is in office, he says he will never agree to any border deal at all. Well, Trump's never going to be in office again. And so maybe we should work on a bipartisan basis and not have you work for your racist cult leader, to borrow the phrase of Democratic Congressmember Cori Bush. But play this clip of MAGA Mike.
The president actually just got off the phone with me right before the show, and he said he has spoken to you about this deal and that he is against it, and he urged you to be against this deal. President Trump was extremely adamant about that. Your reaction to that, given the fact that, look, he knows how to do this enforcement stuff. You don't need some new bill coming out of the Senate to get the border enforced.
Yeah, President Trump is not wrong. He and I have been talking about this pretty frequently. I talked to him night before last about the same subject. We don't have the text of whatever the Senate has cooked up yet. And so we have to reserve judgment, I think, to see what comes out of it. It doesn't sound...
And by the way, you have all of those clips there that I showed you of the Democratic Congress members, intelligent, sharp, going on the offense. Watch what happens here when MAGA Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna questions one of the witnesses, an expert from the Cato Institute on comprehensive immigration policy, and then she uses air quotes to refer to so-called parents of immigrants. And then watch what this expert was fantastic during this hearing. Here, play this clip.
Had made you talk about intentional trauma and that the Trump administration caused intentional trauma by separating these children from their quote unquote parents. The fact is that one, we don't know if these people are really, why are you laughing? Mr. Beer, why are you laughing?
Because you said quote unquote parents, as if they weren't really their parents.
You have no idea. Not only have you not been to the
I
border,
do have an idea.
Hold on,
I
I'm
do
not
have
done. I'm not
with...
done. You have no idea if these people are their intentional parents or not.
Oh yeah.
You have no idea. That's exactly why we do family. Really? Are you psychic?
No,
have you won the lotto, Mr. Beer? I don't think you have.
Read the Office of Inspector General report on family separation.
You have no idea what you're doing, and you are hurting these children. The reason why we want family separation until we can confirm if they
You
are the
want
actual
family
biological
separation?
parents is because these kids are being trafficked.
As
And
a father,
absolutely, I
that
do.
is
Excuse me, I'm a
frightening.
mother. We can go back and forth, but I'm done talking to you because what you did was destructive. Now, going back to what I just showed you right there, you have no idea if that person or that individual is that parent.
So you had that, and then here you have Marjorie Taylor Greene just showing her devotion to the cult. Play this clip.
Looking forward to the next administration where we're going to have the largest deportation system that's ever been witnessed in human history.
This was Marjorie Taylor Greene later in the day. Trump. Why don't we talk about the American people? I mean, it is so embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Play this clip.
Because President Trump has a 4-year record that we all know. We know President Trump. We trust President Trump. President Trump gave America the best 4 years we've had in probably the United States history.
Yeah, and meanwhile, while Marjorie Taylor Greene was doing that, you had Donald Trump's lawyer getting admonished by a federal judge in a defamation case after Donald Trump had previously been found liable for raping E. Jean Carroll. And you had Donald Trump's lawyer there didn't even know how to admit admissible evidence in a federal trial. She doesn't know how to publish documents before a jury, and the judge had to stop the trial because Alina Habba was so incompetent. And you're not fooling anybody, Alina Habba, when you say this. Play this clip.
I'll tell you something. Somebody said to me, Alina, would you rather be smart or pretty? And I said, oh, easy, pretty. I can fake being smart.
Yeah, and the MAGA Republicans are doing all of this. I mean, you saw Democrats like, let's work together, Americans. Let's figure out solutions. We could disagree on issues, but come on, let's find bipartisan solutions. That's what Democrats, let's roll up our sleeves and do something. And then you've got just this whiny, weak Donald Trump, and this is what Trump is doing. Play this clip.
I'll be leaving for New Hampshire, in other words, right after this. And then as to the trial today, it was a very interesting day. As you probably noticed, it's a big story that the witness today, a person I never knew, I never had anything to do with. It's a totally rigged deal. This whole thing is rigged, election interference. But this is a person I have no idea, until this happened, obviously, I have no idea who she was, and nor could I care less. It's a rigged deal. It's a made-up, fabricated story. Well, they found out today that she got rid of a lot of evidence, as you probably noticed. She got rid of massive amounts of evidence. And in addition to that, she had a rifle or a gun, because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets. And it was the opposite, I guess, of her gun. And was it licensed? No, it wasn't licensed. So I guess she's got a difficult problem. That's going to be her problem. But she has a gun or a rifle. She didn't really explain which. She might have both, because she said she bought rifle bullets, and it's totally unlicensed. So I assume that's a problem, but the judge was protecting her. He didn't want to go there. We don't want to go there. We don't want to. If that were me, it would be a different story. But with her, the judge is totally protective of them. And frankly, anybody in that court would see it. Frankly, it's a disgrace. That's probably one of the reasons our country is going to hell.
So folks, I hope you see the contrast. Hope you see the contrast. I mean, that's why I just want to show you. Here's what they're saying. Here's what they're saying. And where do you think? Again, I always say what MAGA stands for. I go, MAGA stands for fascism plus idiocracy. And fortunately, the idiocracy far exceeds the ability to implement their fascist designs. But make no mistake, they're trying. They're trying really hard. And I don't know. I just want normalcy. I don't want normalcy. I just want, when I watch those Democratic Congress members, I appreciate that it's just normal. And they're talking about policies and helping human beings. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers. Thanks to your support, and have a great day.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.